That's too early, isn't it? Oh, man, don't sit on your pencil. It's a nice pencil.
Do you like it? Look,
Yeah,
have you noticed?
Trez on brand. Oh, it's properly on brand, apart from the font is terrible.
Yeah, but they wouldn't give me any other font options.
I mean, you couldn't really go for a larger font, could you?
No, not really. Quite the ensemble you got on today, Jimbo.
You think so? I'm wearing pink in homage to Mean Girls.
Oh, right.
It's not necessarily. I know it's not Wednesday.
Are you wearing Argylle underpants?
No.
Oh,
But we'll come with a cross.
Do you call them underpants, or are they kind of like...
I guess it depends on the
I don't say the word
style.
pants. Pants is a horrible word.
You just call them
But
unders?
moist.
I'm wearing my unders.
Moist pants.
Does it depend on the style?
Well, it all depends how you're wearing them. If you're wearing them inside out.
So we don't have jumpers or
No.
cardigans.
No,
but we do have knickers.
I would say underwear.
Would you?
Yes, I'd say underwear. Pants, no.
It's probably best if we kick this off
Yeah,
before
wait.
it goes off on a tangent.
Up to you, Petey Pete and your papas.
Papa, 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 papa.
The Popcorn Pundits podcast.
Oh, you did the whole lot.
I did.
Excellent.
Welcome, viewers and listeners, to our weekly film update.
What's the date, James?
That was good, isn't it?
That was actually
That
quite good.
Yes. Today is Thursday, the 9th of... 8th of February,
Brilliant.
2024.
Fantastic.
I thought you were going to say 2004 then.
2024. That's right. And we are the Popcorn Pundits. I am James Michael Mulcrone.
I am Peter James Ungar.
And you are?
Nikki.
Smart.
Week number what, Nikki?
15, isn't it?
15.
Week number 15. This is our 15th episode
Yeah.
of our weekly update of what we think is good, bad and indifferent at the cinema.
Yeah.
But however, we also make it up with some smashing recommendations on streaming, and then you report back to us in reference to your homework.
Well, you're
Yes.
presuming they were smashing, James.
Well,
I haven't reviewed this week's film.
I didn't say this. I didn't say the homework was smashing. I said the recommendations are smashing.
Oh, so you're just commenting on your own quality of work.
So,
I know what level I'm working at.
I will.
so we're encouraging
feed you with a score later on.
I'm sure you will feed me with something.
we're encouraging people to go to the cinema, support local cinemas, etc., aren't we?
We
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Go to the cinema. You'll miss it when it's gone.
Absolutely.
Where's it
Right.
going? On vacation?
Hope not.
Okay,
Oh.
good.
Hope not. Shall we start? So we usually start our episodes with a quick top 10 of what's going on in the UK in reference to the latest film releases at the cinema, and then we do a quick review of a couple of films or maybe one film we've seen at the cinema, and then we look at homework, and then we do recommendations.
Exactly right.
That's exactly what we do.
Before you start with the top 10,
Hello.
I've got a little gift for you boys.
Oh, bless you.
It's a P45.
Damn it, you
It's
weren't meant
like
to
you
find
forgot
out.
she was there. You literally jumped out your skin.
You don't need to read the address out before you think about it, James, because it's my home address.
Oh, he's one of these people that opens presents really gently, isn't
I
he? You
do.
can tell. Yeah. Just rip the shit out of
In
it.
true Blue Peter style,
Wow.
here's one I made earlier.
What is
What
it?
is it? It's a popcorn box. That is so cool.
It's my little gift to you boys.
Oh, look.
We can make them
Oh,
later.
fantastic.
We've got our own popcorn boxes.
I might actually start
You know
taking
what?
that to the cinema
I
because
might actually put
There's
that
4 in there.
in there, like so.
beautiful.
How's that?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
very
you,
kind.
Nikki,
It's alright, even though you're mean to me.
the
Carry on, top 10.
ever-suffering
Now I feel bad I didn't bring a present.
producer, Nikki Smart. Would you like to crack on with... Mind you, we're not going to be talking long about the films, are we? So we can talk as long as you want about the top 10.
I might do this in slow motion because it's
What? This is especially for Lauren. Schmartz.
the top 20.
Let's not.
Okay.
Would you like to start at 10?
Yeah, at number 10 is American Fiction.
I'm still loving it, and I want to give myself a little bit of time before I watch it again
Okay.
because I love it so much.
But you're going to go back to cinema and watch it, or are you going to make stream?
I don't know.
It was really good. I
It
loved
was
it.
amazing. Go and see it.
So we've just been discussing number 9, which is The Holdovers, because it's actually been really quite difficult to watch. And we found that with
Not because it's a bad film, because it's been limited
absolutely.
limited release.
the cinemas have decided that it's not going to be very profit making and haven't put it on. So we've really struggled to go and see it. We've got the option at 10:30 on Friday morning, I think.
Sometimes it's the balance between commercialism and art, darling.
Number 8 is Poor Things.
Yes, which I've seen at the cinema twice, maybe 3 times now, and every time I go there, I adore it.
And don't different people have very different views on it.
Yes, you do.
Everyone I speak to either absolutely loves it or is just like, not for me.
Really?
No, I've had quite a lot of people have been not for me.
Go to the cinema, embrace it, and report back.
Absolutely. Number 7 is Wonka.
Yes, which is still a brilliant film.
Still in the top 10.
Still a brilliant
We'll
film.
be in there till next Christmas.
It will be.
Number 6 is Anyone But You.
Anyway, carry on.
Moving on. Number 5, The Zone of Interest. I don't know what that is.
And
That is-
I've heard some amazing reports about that.
So-
Go on.
It's about someone called Rudolph Hoss and his wife Hedwig.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the owl in Harry Potter?
Hedwig Hos.
They strive to build a dream life for their family in a house and garden just beside base camp of Auschwitz.
Really?
Apparently so.
Okay. I'm definitely up for that. What can possibly go wrong?
Sounds like me.
Next film.
Doesn't it? All of Us Strangers.
Well, do you know what? I might go to the cinema again but this time bring my wife instead of going by myself to watch that because I really, really, really loved it.
Yeah, you blew my mind with what you said last week about it. I've got to
Oh,
say,
good.
it's not.
In a good way.
Yeah, because I
Good.
absolutely missed the plot.
Huh.
I didn't get it at all, and
Okay.
I still loved it having missed the plot. And
Yeah.
then you added another
Layer.
layer to it, a veneer which I didn't know needed to be there. But I've kind of thought about it all week, thinking I absolutely missed that.
It's a beautiful film.
yeah, it's
Beautiful, and so unique and so thought-provoking. Go and see that in the cinema as well.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
Go and see that. I mean, you're going to have plenty of time this week to go and see that. Number 3 is Mean Girls,
Yes.
which we went to see last night. No, we didn't.
You went to see it on
I
Sunday,
went to see it on Sunday night, really late on Sunday night.
and I went to see it.
Monday morning.
No, Mean Girls. I went to see it on a Friday night, I think.
Oh, did you? Oh, right, okay. Number 2 is Argylle,
Yes,
which so basically Mean Girls and Argylle we're going to be reviewing
we will.
straight after this.
That's right. We'll let you know what we think.
And then a fresh straight in at number 1 is Migration, which is taking loads and loads of money. £3.5 million in its opening weekend.
Wow.
Which is pretty epic, isn't it?
Which is more money than Triangle did in its entirety.
It's over double what Triangle took.
Triple.
Ever. But I am hoping that Triangle is going to make its way back into the top 10 sometime soon.
Or perhaps you could do an animated version of it. No!
Sam L. Jackson do the voiceover.
Definitely, he would. Yeah, he did.
Right. Anyway, that's the end of the
That's-
good bit of the show, isn't
That's
it?
your top 10. That's your top 10 of the cinema releases at the cinema at the moment. Let us know if you've been to the cinema this week and let us know what films you've seen. And get back in contact with us via... How would people get in contact with us, Nikki? But Nikki?
Well, they can head over to Instagram and find the Popcorn Pundits,
Nice.
or they can watch us on YouTube.
They can. And they can
Comment below.
comment below. Comment below.
We've had some nice...
Subscribe
nice
and
comments.
like us and all that sort of malarkey.
Yeah, subscribe is
Yes.
what everyone says, doesn't it?
You're trying to be a cabin crew
Yeah, you just
there.
need to and it's usually like subscribe and there's usually a button here.
Well, you've got a little smiley face on your finger.
Wonder why.
Okay,
which
'cause-
one do you want to do first? You want to do Argylle or do you want to do Mean Girls?
I think we should do Argylle
Let's
first.
get it out of the way.
Yes.
Let's get it out of the way. Gigantic cast. I mean, every time a scene opened, there was a new star in the screen.
Yeah, but they did list Dua Lipa as like one of the main actors in this film.
Yeah.
Which does kind of set little alarm bells off, considering she's not known for her acting prowess.
And quite frankly,
She doesn't have any
She
acting
won't be.
prowess.
no.
No, she
No,
doesn't.
she kind of reminded me of the lady that does the advert for the cars at before the film starts.
Well, the one that looks like you.
And she turns around and she goes, "It's how you drive it." That one.
Oh, like
The magician.
Yeah, the wooden woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. That's how I felt it.
Yeah.
Don't give a musician give a magician anything you want because I'll take it away. Hey, bunch of flowers. But don't give a
Where did you go?
musician the job of a lead role in a movie out of nowhere. I mean, what's all that about?
Well, I really fancied her until
I
this
know you
movie.
did. Until she started speaking.
And now I don't like her at all.
No, because she can't walk and talk at the same time.
It was
Did
pretty.
you notice?
It was pretty
It
ropey.
was very ropey.
Okay, and that was Argylle.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a bit of a storyline, James?
Argylle is the third franchise that Matthew Vaughan's trying to create at the moment. Obviously, the first one was Kick Arse. Second one was Kingsman.
Yeah.
And this is now Argylle. Because obviously at the end of the movie, they surprised us with, "This will return."
I mean, that was presumptuous to
Wasn't
say
it
the
just?
least.
And the
wasn't
pub
it?
was called Kingsman. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it was. I know it was. Oh, anyway.
So to continue with the fantasy action world that Matthew Vaughn lives in, it's basically a very brightly coloured action movie about a writer of a book who starts to write. Who basically he's written four or five books so far. Then the story starts to develop because she starts to get involved into real espionage. Headed by the beautiful Sam Rockwell. Now, Sam Rockwell, I adore Sam Rockwell. I mean, I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah, you.
He couldn't even
love
save
him
that
a little
movie.
bit too much.
He couldn't even save this movie.
Well, he was terrible in it.
Everybody was terrible in it.
Yeah.
I mean, who could save the movie?
Samuel Jackson.
Well, no. So I've got.
And he was in it.
He was in it. Yeah,
And
so
he didn't save it.
I've got a theory about this. Okay, and we can finally put this Samuel L. Jackson thing to bed.
Go on.
I reckon he was making this instead of appearing in The Killer. I
Same role that it should have been.
I think,
Same role that it should have
I
been.
think these were being
He
made
made
at
the
the
wrong
same
mistake.
time. He made the
He turned
wrong
up at the wrong
choice.
set.
He really did. He chose the wrong film to do.
They were
'cause
filming on the left, he was
even
filming on the
Samuel
right.
L. Jackson was
He
like
just
a caricature.
overacted.
of Anyway, sorry. The story of this movie is
Yes.
that a woman writes a book.
That's right.
And miraculously, the CIA and other agencies believe that she can actually predict the future.
Yes.
And they. Oh God.
I mean, basically, the advert says exactly what the whole film is. So
Yeah.
if you've seen the advert,
Yeah.
you know what the film is.
Yeah.
And then they start to say, oh, well, there's lots of twists in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sadly, after 5 minutes, you've had 3 twists already, and at that point, you really don't care.
I just wanted it to end,
I know.
and the twists were so bad because they made them so redonkulously stupid that you're just like, that's not a twist. That's literally you coming up with an idea and then
This would be
saying,
funny.
how could we possibly make it work? But the
Yeah.
trouble, I think what you just said there is the worst thing about the film is that when they were writing it, they clearly thought they were being really funny.
They did.
And I didn't hear a single laugh, a single giggle in the whole cinema.
Yep.
In fact, I heard groans. It was
Yeah.
it was so poor.
It's one of these films that thinks it's something that it's not, which is basically funny, talented, well produced, and well scripted.
Well, if you look at Kick Arse,
Yes.
which was brilliant.
Yes. And
then
so was the first Kingsman
Well,
was
if
very
you
good
look
as
at
well.
King, I mean, it's like a sliding scale to shit. It's so bad. And then they had the nerve to trail the first of the new series is coming out at the end. And it's just like, well, I wonder how good that's going to be. Terrible.
I'm not a gigantic Henry Cavill fan as an actor. I mean, I'm sure he's a very nice guy. I believe he makes his own PCs, plays Warhammer, and takes his rubbish out. Apparently he's a really, really nice guy.
But none of that makes him sound any nicer, and I don't think it should do, because he's awful.
He's not a very good actor. I mean, he's played Superman very, very well, because Superman is a very wooden character.
He was out-acted by John Cena.
He was acted by a cat, quite frankly.
So...
There was a CGI cat that pretty much did all the work for everybody, quite frankly. It was terrible. It had so much money spent on it, so many locations, so many green screens, quite frankly. There's a lot of green screen work there as well. And
Did you nearly walk out at that fight scene?
yeah,
That is honestly the worst. I think that's the worst cinematic moment I think I've seen, and you've made me watch some this last few months. It
have.
was
highs and lows.
so when I was watching that bit, all I could think was your disappointment in Sam Rockwell, because
I love him so much.
It's so bad, and I'm just like, I was just sitting there thinking, James is cringing. This is absolutely brilliant.
And what's her name? Bruce Dallas Howard. That's her name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the redhead.
But you said all of those like a question.
Like 3 different people. Bruce Dallas Howard. Where are they? Well, I mean, she's not the greatest actor in the world. She was in Jurassic World and so on and so forth. I have an affinity towards redheads, quite frankly, and I was smitten with her until they turned the blonde.
Yeah.
And then he put the comic chest on her.
Yeah.
It looked like it was stuck on.
It did.
It looked like it was a low chest.
But yeah, it was like it was
Weird.
a pair of boobs with space for a spare one in the middle.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Like a Busted song.
It was yes. Right, should we just
Or
here's to bed?
right said Fred in bed.
Should we just say that this was
It's a bit like that. But not as sexy.
right,
Should we just, we need to mark it.
yeah, we've got a
2.
market. 2?
2.
Okay.
What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it. I wrote that
5.
because it's better than.
I was
it's
so
still,
disappointed
it's
in
still
Sam
better
Rockwell.
than Swim Fan. Now I don't think you can give it 2
Why?
because you finished it. And you didn't finish Any Given Sunday. So
I've seen Every Given Sunday years ago, so that's allowed. If I hadn't seen it before at all,
do what you like.
I didn't think you'd seen it.
Oh, years ago.
He said
It's
he hadn't
1990s
ever seen it,
movie.
didn't he?
He makes up his own
1990s.
rules.
So
as he goes along.
3.5.
3.5 is the score.
Um,
Is that the lowest score?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Alfie the cat is actually played by Chip, who's owned by Matthew Vaughan's wife,
Wow, they should have stayed at home.
Claudia Schiffer.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. That's what it says here.
Okay.
And what else was I going to tell you? Oh, Argylle is named after the limo driver from the first Die Hard movie.
None of this makes it any better. How do we make it better? Do we
Well, you
care?
can't add Samuel L. Jackson.
Maybe we'll take him out. That'd be
Take
nice.
them all out.
Put him into another film.
Take them all out. He shouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Shouldn't have made it. I'm not even going to watch it again when it's streaming at home. Don't watch it.
Terrible.
Yeah, don't watch it.
The IMDb score is 6.1.
Yeah, that's my reaction to that.
Yeah. Wow. There we go.
Next.
Yeah. What are we doing next?
Mean
Mean Girls.
Girls.
Nice shirt, James.
Well, I'm wearing this shirt in homage of Mean Girls.
You should have said I would have bought my pink shirt.
We could have
too.
bought pink. It's not Wednesday. Could we only wear pink on Wednesdays?
On Wednesdays we wear
Girlfriend.
pink.
Now
That's
I've got a
so
sneaky
fetch.
feeling
Yeah.
that our opinion on this film might be slightly different.
We haven't disagreed for a while, so let's just let the viewers and the readers and the listeners get their chops around it.
Yeah. Let's watch this unfold.
Okay then. Tell you what, you give me your synopsis and then I'll butt in like I do. Sorry, Mum.
Okay. It's
Dad's going to call
it's
in
a remake.
minute.
of High School Musical, isn't it?
No, it's a remake of the original late 1990s movie Mean Girls.
Oh no, for once you're wrong. It's a remake of High School Musical. It's exactly the same as every other American High School Musical I've ever seen ever, and it's garbage.
Right. Is that your review?
I'm out of here. I'm done.
So
Okay.
swim fan tomorrow then.
So the real review is that it is a remake of the film Mean Girls, but the original film Mean Girls wasn't a musical.
Correct.
This version, the new upgrade, the 2002, dropped last week. That's good, isn't it?
Not really.
Dropped. And it starts off with the musical immediately. I mean, the very first track, the very first scene is a fantastic fourth wall breakage of the whole thing, and they basically explain what the whole film is going to be about.
I love that description. Fourth wall breakage.
Do you like it?
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that. And
I just made it up.
It's brilliant.
I didn't even write it down. It's not written down or anything. But it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They basically they introduce you to the story. They do it in a very, very clever way, almost like they're doing a TikTok video or a video for Instagram. So it's very on trend. It's very, very hip. And they keep trying to and they very. I can't remember the original. I don't think I've seen the original, you see.
Yeah, you have.
No, I don't
You
think I
must have done.
No, but I tell you the reason why, because my wife went with me and she kept saying that was part of the original, that was part of the fetch thing and so on and so forth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the original again and then I'm going to watch the remake again straight away afterwards as a double bill on a Sunday.
Wow.
Because apparently there's so many Easter eggs in it. There's so many clever things in it that have homages to the original. Or there's virtually half of the cast
Yeah.
migrated.
Oh, are they? Oh,
And
right,
so,
okay, fair
you
enough.
get certain members of the cast that are actually were young uns and then they're old uns in it, which
They're
is very,
now
very,
teachers or
They're now
something,
teachers.
yeah.
You don't like sport, do you?
I like my yoga.
Okay, so you're not going to watch football on a Sunday, is what I'm saying. So,
No.
so you're going to have plenty of time on a Sunday
football on a
to waste on a Mean Girls trilogy.
Double bill.
Twice
Yes.
and a half.
There is
Exactly.
actually a Mean Girls 2.
Yeah, I know, but it's never going to be the same.
Oh
is
no,
it?
but Peter said trilogy, so you might as well throw the third one in.
No, I'm not doing that. But it is Peter's right though. It is a classic high school story of a young girl going to a high school from an out of town. She tries to fit in with a few groups within this social network, ends up tossed between. Don't go down there. End up bridged between two social groups. One is like your geeky artistic nerds, and then obviously you've got the it girls at the other end. And she's bridged between the two. The story continues. She obviously has an affiliation between one or two of the, and the story continues. But the tracks are really, really. I mean, I saw the tracks. I mean, I'm not a big Billie Eilish fan, but they could have all been scribed by her. Really well produced, really well written. I laughed all the way through it.
So I don't think you just described the same film.
Well,
So she came from Africa,
she did.
and she basically got introduced straight away. She got accepted straight away by the plastics.
She did because she was new and exotic.
Yeah. Now, what I hate.
It's like me.
The first thing I hated about this film
Go on.
was that none of the characters.
How long have we got?
Yeah, so we're going to keep this brief. I didn't believe any of the characters.
No, you don't need to.
Worst casting
No, you
I've
don't
ever seen
need to.
ever. So, like, the main plastic,
Yes.
she was terrible. She would
Regina
never
George.
be the queen bee of a
She
school.
was and she was so tall. She was taller than everybody.
I think you went to see Godzilla again.
No, she was. She basically when she was doing her Billie Eilish song, she said, "I'm the one. I am the big deal," type thing. And the whole video montage, and she's walking past, and she was literally taller than absolutely everybody. Fantastic jawline with the hair back and that sort of thing. I think she was a very impressive character.
So
She's only 5'7".
Wow.
Yeah, she wasn't tall. And the
Everybody, that's tall for me.
The stupid one.
Yes, she was amazing.
She wasn't stupid
Karen.
enough.
No, I don't know.
She wasn't stupid
No, I think she
enough.
was.
I just don't think they kind of got any of it right.
All I'm going to say to you is,
Yeah.
okay, her song about Halloween was genius, and I'm trying to download it for the radio show on Marlow FM Friday mornings. And she came up with the immortal lines, something along the lines of "Sexy Joan of Arc," and I just wet myself laughing because it was all to do with being you can't turn up to a Halloween costume being scary in America, particularly if you're a female in high school. You have to be a sexy nurse.
Slutty
You have to
cat.
be a sexy cat.
Yeah.
And it really to me, I personally feel that this is just as important film for social angst as Barbie. I think personally, it says a very, very distinct message. It's very, very clever.
So the original film
Yes.
was hugely revered by a lot of people, and they still absolutely love it to this
It's a
day.
classic. It's a 90s classic, isn't it?
Absolutely. And like and I think that the original does do that. It does break down the boundaries. I just thought this missed on so many levels.
Did you?
I thought the heartthrob boy wasn't heartthrobby or sexy enough. I didn't think the main character was. I didn't think she was.
Well, she's from
cast.
Spider-Man, isn't she?
But she's a bit part actor in Spider-Man. She's nothing. She sits on a bench. That's her.
But to be fair, her role in that was quite low key compared to what you think it's going to be, because although she developed her character developed in one direction, and then obviously she became a knit girl, and it all became very dark in a minute, and so on and so forth. But I feel that she was almost like the straight man in this to a certain extent.
Have you watched Sex Education?
Is that
The TV series on
Yes, I
Netflix?
watched some of it, but I
think maybe one of the reasons why I hated this so much was that Sex Education does this a bazillion times better.
Right.
The character development in Sex Education, you care about every single
Yeah, but that's
person.
a television series. You can't compare the development of a character in a television series compared to a film that's an hour and a half long.
Yes, I can.
Well, I tell you, you can,
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
but you're wrong.
Who do you think you are, a popcorn pundit?
So I like this because I kind of knew that you loved this, and I came out and I went to see it. You went to see it first, and so my daughter went to see it the same
Yeah.
day.
And I text you, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, and I could tell there was like a giggle. I kind of like it, and I went in and I made the mistake of kind of hoping it was going to be better than I feared. And
Well, that's the problem I had with Argylle. I turned up thinking this could be quite good.
Oh no, because I turned up thinking I'm going to hate this.
And you were right.
Yeah. But the good thing about Argylle, compared to Mean Girls,
It ended.
So there is a positive at the end of my Mean Girls review, but there isn't for Argylle.
He's remaking it with Samuel L. Jackson.
At least I knew with Argylle from literally the first second it started that I hated it.
Yeah.
And my opinion didn't change.
Right.
But Damien Hubbard, the character Damien Hubbard, he stole the show for me.
Right.
So he's the guy that kind of opens the whole thing up, and he is within the four walls that.
Yes.
Beyond the four walls. That was, I think
Yes,
you said
the
earlier.
breakage.
Oh, love
Yes.
that. So he is within the four walls, and he's like the narrator.
Girlfriend.
He's like like the beginning of Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly.
So he comes in, he does that to scream thing, and then flares his hands wide, and he's larger than life, gay and proud, and he is brilliant in it. He's the only one.
Okay.
He's the only one I cared about, and I think you have to care about people
You do.
in a movie, and I didn't care about.
I
any
agree
of
with you.
them.
I think he was an incredibly strong character in this film, but I also think the main baddie girl was fantastic as well, and I also felt that the principal of the school, he was very good as well. I thought
He's the original principal.
in the original film. So
Peter's not convinced.
listen. At the end of the day, this is the groundbreaking moment. We've never
Yeah.
disagreed so much about a film before.
Yeah, 100%.
And it just happened to be Mean Girls.
I think.
I mean, I've thrown some weird shit at you.
I think
Yes.
if you like and you believe the head of the plastics, I think you're going to like the film. If you don't, you won't.
Okay, good idea. Okay.
Okay, interesting.
I recommend that you go and see it at the cinema because it is a great musical spectacle in the same world as Wonka. It's the same world as all the choir movies with the and it's quite sassy. I've seen.
Pitch Perfect.
In the same.
Yeah.
It's the same world as that. The same world as Bad Mums. It's got that little. It's a bit fruity with its humour. You've got to go with an open mind. It's not realistic by any stretch of the imagination. Most of the pupils are like 30, but it makes no difference because you have to discard any sort of reality to one side and enjoy the love of the Pink Girls on a Wednesday.
I don't agree. I think you should go and see anything else on the top 10 apart from Argylle. It was an actress thing. But also, I have to say,
Yes.
I don't think this film was made for my demographic. To be
Really?
totally honest with you,
What's my demographic?
I was gonna say.
I think you fit more than mine. Someone's
If you
wearing a
wanna-
little pink shirt and a bow tie tonight.
It's not even Wednesday.
Well, scores.
It's Thursday.
Yes, exactly. Scores.
5.8, and that was being generous.
You're a mean man rather than a mean girl.
That is not fetch, Peter.
Yes, that's not fetch, and they use that several times, but they keep referencing it from the past movie. They go,
Yeah.
you can't do that. Just say 1990s.
Yeah.
It's very clever. I'm giving it a 7.9.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not.
I am.
We need to put all the scores of other films up because you'll be horrified of that score.
Oh, maybe.
6.9 in total.
Thank you.
IMDb, it has 6.3. Would you like some facts?
What was the overall scores for
6.6,
Argylle again?
I bet
Sorry.
6.3.
3.5.
3.5.
Would you like
Yes,
some
please.
facts?
Give me some
So,
facts.
when Damien is explaining the cliques in the cafeteria,
Yes.
there is a
David's
vote.
your friend.
There's a vote for Pedro sign behind him, which references Napoleon Dynamite, which was released in 2004, which was the same year as the original Mean Girls movie.
I'm with you. I love Napoleon Dynamite. That's a very good film.
And someone James is a massive fan of was considered to cameo as Glenn Coco, but the idea was scrapped.
Sam Rockwell.
No. Harry Styles.
Really?
Yeah.
He would have been brilliant in it. I really mean that. He would have been very good in it. I quite like a bit of Harry.
Yes, you do.
Yes. Who doesn't?
Right.
Who's that? Teddy Swift. She liked a bit of Harry Styles for a while, didn't she?
She
Sorry,
did,
what was our score for that?
That was
6.9.
6.9 is the total score.
Terrible.
Good taste prevails.
Okay.
Yes.
Should we
Hi.
move on?
Yes.
I was going to say, do you want to move on to the recommendation?
So this is part of the show where I have given Peter some homework.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's one film, sometimes it's two films. We've been on a bit of a roller coaster of my sort of horror dungeon. I've brought him back into a little bit of light recently. We may delve back into a horror dungeon at a later date, but I'm interested to see what Peter thought of Empire of Light. Over to you, Peter McPete.
Right. So this is a massive detour,
Isn't it?
from where we've been over recent weeks.
And I've done it completely on purpose.
Even the Western I saw last week was a horror film.
It was.
Which was, a real surprise. So we are in, we're set in the UK. We're set on the south coast of the UK. And we're set...
Brighton, isn't it? Is it Brighton?
It's on...
It's got a feel, hasn't it?
Yeah, they don't say... I think it's a smaller town than Brighton. But yeah, it's a small village, which is a small town, which has basically got a cinema in it. And Olivia Colman plays the cinema manageress. And
do you want to say when it's set approximately?
It's set in the 1980s.
Okay, because I think that's really important.
Very important, yeah absolutely. So she's basically the manageress of a cinema, and she has some mental health issues, which is a very reoccurring theme in the films that you sent me. And
yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's not
absolutely. Weird. And then there is a new black guy. Did you just slurp tea?
Peter was mid-flow.
You've just slurped tea in the middle of my synopsis. Sorry, Mum. That's horrific. I can't believe it. Anyway, sorry. Really shocked. Anyway, so and then there's a new young black guy who comes to work at the cinema.
Yes.
And then there are other people who work in the cinema. Colin Firth plays the cinema owner.
That's right.
So Olivia Colman's character is her mental health issues aren't kind of shoehorned in. It's like very subtly suggested.
She doesn't wear it on her sleeve to begin with, does she?
No, and that's kind of the whole of this film. I mean, the whole kind of plot of this film is very, very ambiguous. And the actual kind of direction where it's going is quite ambiguous. But basically, the reason you were commenting about it being the 1980s is that there was still a huge right-wing contingent of skinheads, bother boys, who basically harassed this young black kid. But Olivia Colman and Michael Ward, who plays Stephen, they forged this beautiful friendship, kind of stroke partnership. And it's basically the story of that and the other kind of developing relationships around the cinema. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Should we reenact the Office scene?
We can do. If you get your little smiley finger out, I'll demonstrate. Did you like this film?
I bloody loved it.
Do you think it's a good film?
I think it's an outstanding film that won many, many awards.
Can we get some stato on this? Because I've got a theory on this film. I think
she won an Oscar for it.
I think this isn't a good film.
Wow.
I think Olivia Colman has just proved herself as one of the best actresses I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. Her performance in this is impeccable. It's perfect. If she wasn't in this film, I don't think you would have asked me to watch this film.
Okay.
She absolutely drags this by the jacket collars the whole way through, and it's worth watching because of her performance in it. And the way
her emotional roller coaster is incredible.
Yeah, because she goes all the way from cute happy, where you're just she just warms the room when you're watching her. And then when she's broken, she's harrowing. Yeah. I mean, she's so broken. I mean, there's a scene where the mental health authorities are coming to take her away, and she has a bit of a tantrum. Yeah. But then she sits in a chair with her coat on, with her suitcase on her lap, and you just think, wow, it is one of the most powerful scenes I think I've ever seen ever. And it's powerful not because it's dramatic, not because they're trying to be sensational. It just feels so incredibly real. Yeah. And the the terror of the racism in this again.
Yeah.
It isn't hugely dramatised.
No.
There's one dramatic moment in it, but actually
You get a parade out the front, don't you?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is a
yeah.
little bit.
it's a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
But actually
It's the generalness, isn't it?
The discreet racism in this film
Yeah.
is really upsetting because you know it's there.
And not only, but also you forget that wasn't that long ago.
No.
That's what's terrifying about it more than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were probably like in your mid-30s when this was set. I mean,
40s. I had hair and everything.
But yeah, so anyway, it was a really, really unusual recommend.
Thank you.
And I don't actually know if I liked it as a film, but I know it's got a decent score because of Olivia Colman, and I've never.
She can do no wrong, that woman.
Well, I wouldn't have said that before this, to be honest with you. I thought she was all right. I think she's a decent, good actress, and you know we've talked about films that she's been in, like The Favourite, and like you.
You haven't seen The Favourite yet, have you?
Yeah, I have watched it actually. So like when we were talking about it the other week, when I went back to see
you
it.
did Lobster and then you did A Favourite.
No, I'd already watched it prior to that.
Ah.
But that's why I watched The Lobster because I realised I'd already seen The Favourite. And I thought she was all right in that, but I don't think she was stand out. I mean, I thought she was better in The Lobster actually, but I've got to say that this is world class. So what does it say what she won?
So
or what the film won?
it had 39 nominations and 3 wins.
So it's not so many, James, is it?
Unfortunately, it didn't win at the Chainsaw Awards. I don't think it was
Didn't
nominated.
it?
No,
Oh.
it won
I nominated
Best Film for the Guardian's Best Films. What else? There's something else I just saw. I can't. Oh, it won the Cineuphoria Award. It won Best Cinematography in the international category.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word category then. And I'm just trying to find the last win, but I can't find where it is.
Okay.
But yeah, not that many wins.
Okay, I thought I apologise. I'll step back.
You don't need to apologise.
No, I'll step back from misunderstanding how many awards. I was in the impression that she won an Oscar and all sorts.
It was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
You can apologise for slurping tea. I mean, that wasn't very nice,
No,
was it?
it wasn't. But it was good tea, though. You made it.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway, so that's the film.
Yes.
And that's what I thought of it.
Yes.
And I don't really know how to score it. I'd kind of like to give this 2 scores. So
If you give it 2 scores, we'll add them together
Yeah,
and
we
we'll
will.
divide them. That's what's going to happen.
Them the rules.
Okay, then I'm going to forget that I want to give Olivia Colman her own super duper
10.
I do. I want to give her a 10
Yeah.
for this because without her in it, it's 6.9,
Ooh.
and it would be. It's kind of an 8.5, but I can't do that because without her in it, it's a 6.
But she was in it.
Yes, no.
It's
it doesn't work like that.
it's 6.6 on IMDb, and the actual Dreamland Cinema in Margate, which stood in for the Empire Cinema in this film,
Yeah.
was opened in 1923. It changed several times during its lifetime and finally closed for good in 2007. However, it still stands, although empty,
Right.
because it's a listed building, so cannot be demolished without parliamentary approval.
We should open a cinema there.
It'd be amazing.
Wouldn't
So,
it?
so it's beautiful. It's 1920s proper deco. There's like a dining room, ballroom up the
Yeah.
top. It's
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it,
Good.
and
It's a Sunday afternoon movie, isn't it?
yeah, it could be a Sunday afternoon movie, but I think it's. So I think of a Sunday afternoon movie being one that kind of wraps you up nicely for going to bed at the end of it. I don't think that's what this is. I think maybe this is a Wednesday or a Thursday night, where maybe you're trying to get over Hump Day.
Maybe, yeah. I see what you can come.
Yeah, but it is a good film. I really liked it.
Good.
But yeah, it was
That's why we wear pink on Hump Day.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. We're not going to reference Mean Girls for the rest of our podcast. are we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Fetch.
Right, I'm going to.
Till the end of time.
There we go.
6.9. I'm really pleased. I thought I'd just give us a little bit of a breather from.
Until now.
Yeah, so we watched it as a family actually, and
Oh, nice.
And 2 of us watched it to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, good. It was good. Yeah, we really liked it. I mean, Poppy was quite distraught that was actually a new recommendation. She didn't recognise it as a new.
She was waiting for like somebody to come out the ground or something.
Yeah, she sat there cowering behind the pillow with like a machete just in case.
It's going to turn into a.
Yeah. Anyway. there we go.
raving lunatic.
So, what did you say the IMDb score was?
6.6.
Oh, okay, so that's pretty low, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
Good. Empire of Light. I recommend it.
I recommend it to you.
Watch it at home
Yeah,
on a
absolutely.
streaming platform of your choice.
You could do at least 2 worse things this week, couldn't you?
Well, Argylle
A swim fan.
and Swim Fan. Don't mention Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Don't you be...
Also 6.9, James. Just saying.
6.9. What are you going to say?
Are you saying 6.9's a win?
I'm liking a 6.9.
I think it's not a bad
Both
score.
ways, isn't it?
think?
I'm happy with
I
that.
Yeah.
think anything with a 7 at the front is kind of a cheer.
It's not Nicolas Cage high kick. Once we get over that,
No, it's
we're,
not.
we're giving it that. So, I've got 2 recommendations for you this week. And I'm going to recommend that our viewers watch both of them and then they can compare their notes with you.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Both of them have got Tom Holland in.
Okay.
Okay. One of them has Olivia Colman.
10. It's a 10.
Has it got anything to do with mental health?
And you got Bill Skarsgård. You've got everybody's in these movies. Okay, so the first one is a 2002 movie. It is The Devil All of the Time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's actually a 2020 movie.
What did I say?
2002.
That's me reading my.
Yeah.
That's me.
Don't pick
That's
on
me
the
reading
dyslexic,
my.
that's
That's
just
my.
me.
I'm
reading my-
dyslexic, I'm allowed. You're allowed to dyslexic a dyslexic.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. Yeah. It's like say.
So I've just got to sit here and just say nothing about
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
There are
pretty
certain
much.
words some people can say in certain. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Ginger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. It has got a gigantic cast in it. It's got
Tom
Mark
Holland's not that big.
Rocco, Bill Skarsgård. It's got everybody in it. It's absolutely gigantic. I think Robert Pattinson's in it as well.
Oh.
It's set at the start of the century. In America, in the your Texas sort of part of the world.
Yeah, go on.
What?
The kind of Texas part of the world.
Texas part of the world.
Yeah.
It's got that. it does have that. The opening scene. Okay. Don't start. Okay. The opening scene. I know what you're going. The opening scene is quite graphic, so you can be careful because we're going straight into it straight away.
I'll invite Poppy in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is epic. It is beautifully epic. And think of all of the movies I've been giving you so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine that on a bigger scale. In an epic sort of styling. That's the sort of direction we're going in.
Okay. So
Okay.
we've got men birthing men and chopping each other in half.
There's all sorts of things going on.
Fantabulous.
It's
I
going to be
can't wait.
amazing. Okay.
Can't wait.
Uh,
What was that called?
the devil all of the time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, 2020. So, second film is a much smaller film, much smaller production film. It's a British film starring Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the film called Lock?
No.
Okay. As I said, Tom Holland, Olivia Colman. It's got a massive cast in it, but it's unusual the way that they are portrayed in this said movie.
Okay.
Okay, it is. To me, Lock is a Thursday night movie.
Okay.
Devil All the Time. It could be a Saturday night. It's massive. It's meaty. There's a lot going on.
Okay.
There you go. Your homework for you viewers and listeners is to watch Lock and to watch Devil All the Time and see how you feel.
So we'll post these on our Instagram, shall we?
Yes.
So
That's right.
people can see what they are and where to watch them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Perfect. Good.
I'm only saying that because that just enables me to know where to find them and what
Yeah.
they were again.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, there we go.
Film for next week.
Oh, is this your recommendation for the viewers?
No, this film for
No, what you need to
we're going to see it
review.
at the cinema.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yes, I think between now and our next podcast, I think we're going to be able to slip in a little bit of wrestlers
Oh, yeah.
in
Iron
pants,
Claw.
Iron Claw.
Yeah, you don't say pants, James.
Are
You
you
do when you're on stage.
are you gonna go in fancy dress to that, or are you gonna go fully dressed?
I might get beefed up for it first.
Okay.
I'm going to have to get
You're gonna
oiled.
strictly tan
Yeah, I'm
it.
going to get oiled completely. I'm going to use the Imac all
Fake
over,
tan.
apart from my hair.
You getting beefed up is taking bottle in a flask.
Medium rare.
Yeah, Iron Claw. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's going to be the same level of epicness as the wrestler.
Yeah, and we've also got the holdovers to see as well. If we can get to
Somewhere.
see it somewhere. Fingers crossed.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
I think that's our popcorn pundits finished.
This is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? This is the first one where we haven't had some kind of elatory reason to go to the cinema or to stream something. But it's there we go.
Yeah, but that's a service we're giving.
It did feel like we were providing a service this week, to
I
be
think
honest
so.
with you.
And it's free.
Especially last night, Argylle, that was hard work.
I have to say, at one point, I was halfway through it and I thought to myself, as a popcorn pundit, I can't walk out of the cinema.
Oh, yeah.
You bloody can.
Yeah, this is where he's texting the person who does it. Oh no, it's broken.
Anyway, there we go.
Are we ready? Popcorn pundits.
Podcast.